enlisted in the Army, and I guess I was probably 21.
2 months after my 19th birthday.
I told my wife that I was quitting my job and I was going to go home and I was going to enlist.
If all your buddies are being drafted to go into the service, you kind of felt left out. And you too wanted to prove your loyalty.
At the beginning it was all volunteers, but later as they expanded this one here, they were just like you were recruited to the Army. You got a letter to call, report to the SS.
And my first job was a rifle company commander, 3rd Battalion, 187th Infantry of the 101st Airborne.
I was a nose gunner. They put me in the nose.
To an LCI, Landing Craft Infantry in the Marshall Islands.
CB detachment, building all the Quonset huts and the airfields and...
No, I was right back of it where the prisoners were brought back. And at that point, we could interrogate the prisoners and get as much military information that we could.
And I was pretty sure, well, the war is lost, and I don't want to be a dead hero. All but I was trying to, I have to survive the war. That was my #1 objective.
When I arrived, there were still signs of the carnage, but we were preparing for the invasion of the Marshall Islands.
Luckily, I wasn't involved in any direct fighting in the islands.
Well, that's where I saw, more heavy combat. I was a little skeptical about going back and taking the company, but after I was with it a few days, I knew I was right where I should be. And
we moved in order to establish the military government. And when we moved in, we had to set up headquarters for our Army.
It was boring, as a matter of fact. We did the same thing every day.
To build a defense line along the French border. They were not armed, build defense line. That was their objective.
Maybe what Francis Scott Key was seeing back in the War of 1812, with all the explosions and all that stuff.
This was our job, and that's what we did.
And appreciative of the sacrifice that our Army, Navy, Marines, Air Corps, Coast Guardsmen.
You got to have people who want to follow you, even though it might cost them their lives.
Thank the Lord that we came out alive, and there were a lot of GIs that didn't come back.
So we were told that don't get the idea of running over, because the Allies, especially the Russians, do not take SS people as prisoners. They shoot them right away. So may as well fight to the last bullet and then kill yourself.
Well, when we lost 2 engines, when we were quite a ways away from home, and so we had to bring that baby back on just 2 engines.
As you don't realize how attached you become to an organization like that, but I was having a lot of problems just holding back the tears and saying a goodbye to the troops. That was the worst day, I think.
To be included with all Americans, that's #1. And at that point, you're treated all alike. The fact of discrimination disappears once you're in uniform and fighting side by side.
You're barely 19 years old, and you're the only Jewish officer in a group of 12 ships. You're not so second class at all.
Every one of them had that in mind, that look, we're going to prove that we're loyal and we're probably just as good a soldier or better. And with that in thought, I think they were fighting 2 fronts. And at the end, it appears we were victorious in both fronts.
Wars are gruesome. It was a big mistake, these world wars.
Nobody wants to go to war, and I just hope it never happens again.